we fall. Woo! Bam, 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 bam.
The Populares no longer present an obstacle. Now is the time to bring the Empire's might to bear. A word from your Radiance is all it takes. But one word, and the Imperial army will fall upon Alamigo as a pack of bloodthirsty wolves and tear that feeble nation apart. Have you no words for me? Despite the lengths I go to, an emissary playing the part of a fool. When first I took this face, I swore to use all of my knowledge, all of my power, to further the cause of the Empire. My deeds stand testament to my commitment. And with this adamant flesh at my disposal, I could destroy the Icon Slayer as easily as one might swat a fly. Why do you hesitate? Our enemy is resourceful. Though victory is certain now, it will not remain so indefinitely. Deliberate if you must, but be quick about it. We'll speak again when you have unburdened yourself of doubt. Until then, I take my leave, Father.
I should be the one to sigh. I played my part to perfection. I had earned my rest, and then, thanks to La Habrea's crowning act of idiocy, our favorite emissary sees fit to summon me back.
What? I played my part to perfection. I had earned my rest. And then, thanks to La Habrea's crowning act of idiocy, our favorite emissary sees fit to summon me back.
Elidibus was ever a warrior, A most tiresome trait, would you not agree? What? Have you no words for me either? No matter. I've long grown weary of this mummery. Now, my dearest grandson, let me remind you of your place in the simplest of terms. You do not make judgments, you administer them. Swiftly and to the letter. Naught else is your concern. Elidibus may be an insufferable bore, but he is no fool. His choices as emissary seldom err. If aught threatens the balance twixt light and dark, it falls to you to remove it. Be it by your own hands or by your armies, you have ample means at your disposal. That is why this empire exists, why I built it.
Solus Soscalvus.
Oh dear, have I touched a nerve? You always were an easy one to read. I pity you, I do. As they say, ignorance is bliss. And I know how much happier you would be not knowing the things you know. The founding father was an Ascian, and he created the Empire solely for the purpose of sowing the seeds of chaos. Don't take it personally. I merely do my duty. To bring about a calamity requires no small amount of power. And there is no surer way to obtain such power than by collecting powerful pawns. To that end, I have labored long and hard, and I must say I am quite pleased with my handiwork, paltry though it seems in comparison to Alag.
You fiends are overfond of your own voices. Mark me, Ascian. Man is the master of his own destiny.
Such a waste of time and energy, both yours and mine. Lest you forget you are Emperor now. If you wish to spout drivel about man's destiny, save it for the masses. It will serve to give them a sense of purpose, and you pliant pieces for the game. Oh, do stop sulking, boy. You, of all people, should understand. Ours is a struggle to restore both mankind and the world to their rightful state. Viewed thus, our goals are one and the same.
Excuse me.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news. After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring. Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Urianger and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle. And Alphino's still missing. Gods, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Cryle!
Cryle! I thought you were busy delving into the mysteries of Eureka.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
Yes, I should have thought of that. Thank you for coming, Cryle. We would welcome your insight.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium?
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
That particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault, but I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened, thanks to a certain someone. A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh? Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me. All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep. Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes? If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place, then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
I wasn't around for that, but I can't imagine it was easy.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So I suggest we pay her a visit.
come to disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems. Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders. Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she? Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
Right. Let us see what we can see. I'll begin from where our friends first fell, and cast my senses out from there.
What is it? Did you find them?
But this doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
How is what possible? Kryl, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Could the ether have dissipated if it had? Oh, gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the Broodmother's daughter all over again.
Broodmother.
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
But where?
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. We just have to keep looking. Pray, excuse me a moment. Yes? I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way. That was Lee's. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them. I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether. It seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone wrong. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting in shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
na 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 na.
Is your birthday a level up? Do you mount up when you get in your car? Do you go to Walmart, pick up cooking mats, and say grats to your microwave when it dings? Hey Buns, if you've ever called in sick to work to play World of Warcraft, you might have actually been sick with WoW brain rot. Let's look at some of the signs and symptoms. Do you think of your life not
cat.
Howdy, y'all. Name's Clover. Back in November, I made partner on Twitch, and lately I've been reflecting on the journey that got me here. Now, not many folks know this, but I used to be a different VTuber, and on that brand, well, I was partner there too. The accounts were never tied together. There was no crossover or influence between them. But that strategy that got me partner once, well, that same approach worked the second time. So today, I want to share that strategy with y'all, because I know how tough it can be to grow, and I want to help equip those y'all out here hustling with the same tools and knowledge that I discovered. Now, I'll start by diving into my past, but if you're just here for the strategy, feel free to skip on ahead to the next chapter. I want to be real with y'all. When I started fresh, I told folks that I was a new brand. Not because I wanted to mislead anyone, but because I was trying to protect myself. My first brand, well, it came with a lot of baggage. There were stalkers and people who made this place exhausting for me to navigate. I was worried that if those folks recognized me, they'd drag all that mess back into what I was trying to rebuild. So I kept quiet. I didn't tell no one about my history. I didn't acknowledge that I'd been here before. I just started over. And at the time, that felt like the safest move. But now, after reflecting on it, I realized that part of moving forward is being transparent. My journey, both the mistakes and the wins, shape how I approach content today. And if sharing that can help someone else, well, then it's worth opening the door. I started out just wanting to make art and edit videos. Plain and simple. Back in 2016, I got to work. Designing emotes, stream overlays, alerts, motion graphics, video edits, you name it. I grabbed just about every odd job I could, thinking if I worked hard enough, I'd build a portfolio and folks would come up. But let me tell you, it was tough. Okay, I undercharged myself. I took on free work. I didn't know how to market myself. And honestly, I was just straight up miserable. When freelancing wasn't working, I decided to try joining some stream teams. I tried out with 2 different ones. I just joined on as an artist who made assets, edited videos, all for free, figuring, once folks saw my work, they'd want to hire me proper. That didn't happen either. So I thought, well, what if I helped build the team from the ground up myself? That'd be different. So I spent countless hours making art, overlays, editing folks for free, and again convincing myself that it'd pay off in the long run, but instead, not backlash, actually. Some folks weren't happy that I didn't include everyone's looks and features, and I tried explaining that some of the footage that they provided just wasn't really useful, but the community pushed back and said I didn't have the right to decide what makes good content since I wasn't a streamer myself. And you know what, actually, they had a good point. I figured, okay, well, I'll give streaming a shot, and maybe in the process I can help teach some folks how to edit. So yeah, that's what I did. I started streaming myself, editing videos, and thinking it'd be a win-win. I learned what it's like to be a streamer, and they get a better look at what goes into video editing. And 4 months later, I made partner. At the time, I thought maybe I just got lucky. I found myself the right place in the right time. And not only that, but a lot of my success felt like it was derived from trend piecing and audience.
Divergence. Let's talk about these. Crimes of weed are the most obvious.
sheathe your sword, I beg of you! You gave me the strength to rise from the ashes! I could not bear to lose you again!
I've never done this. No way. I have never done this.
Trust in me, my love! I will protect you, I promise! Please, my love, if only you would listen.
No way. No way. I refuse to believe I ever did that fight. No way. I've never done that fight. I'm checking right now. No way. I have never done that fight. Never in my life. I cannot believe it. If I log in here and I see Hell's Cure as one of my trials, I will flip out. Because I've never done that fight. Literally never. No way, not a chance. There's zero chance. I stopped. At some point, Stormblood. I really didn't do it. Oh my goodness. How did I miss this many things, dude? I'm just gonna let it go. You know what? It's fine. That's okay. Wow, though. Wow.
So that last year was super rough, and honestly, it barely counts. Between trying to be something that I wasn't and dealing with some very difficult circumstances, both creators and viewers alike, I'd hit my limit, truly. The pressure got so bad that I really just shut everything down and walked away without saying nothing. Like, no goodbyes. I didn't tell a soul that I was leaving. I just quit. But after some time, I got to thinking, and I realized, no, I really truly love making content, and I wanted to come back, but I wanted to start fresh. So I did everything I could to separate myself from that brand, because honestly, I was just carrying way too much stress trying to keep it going. So when I did decide to start fresh, I made all new accounts and went back to what I truly love, which was making art. And once again, I was very surprised by how fast my growth took off. But now, looking back, I realized it wasn't about luck. It wasn't just timing or coincidence or doing what others demanded of me. It was genuinely a strategy. The way I build my content, the choices I make, the steps I take, they all play a role in how I got here. And if I can break that down and make it easier for someone else to follow, then I want to do that, because no one should have to figure out the hard way like I did. So now that you know a little bit more about me and understand my story, let's go ahead and get right into this deep dive on the strategy that helps me grow 2 separate channels to Twitch partner. Alrighty, y'all, let's talk strategy. So there's a good bit of ways to grow your channel, but I'm going to focus specifically on what works for me and my growth. Know that this ain't the only route that you can take, but being that I have the most experience in this way of doing it, this is the one that we're going to talk about. So what is that way? Well, one of the biggest factors in my growth was short form content. I'm talking TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. They changed the game for me, y'all. So I'm going to break down how they work and why they can be the key to finding your audience. Let me just be super real with y'all real quick. The average viewer does not care that you're live. What they care about is you. And live posts don't tell them a thing about you. So simply hitting go live ain't enough. Dropping links in Discord, using self-promo channels, or letting auto-post announcer streams on Twitter, none of that actually grows your channel. You gotta show the world what you're about. So let's break it down. Where do you post? How do you post? What do you post? Why does it matter? Out of all the styles of content out there, I genuinely believe that short-form videos are the strongest way to grow your brand. The big 3 being TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts are really where you're gonna get seen. Giving folks a peek at what you do before they ever stop by your stream is the best way to find your audience and connect with them. When I first started in 2021, all I ever did was post on TikTok. That was it. Maybe an occasional Twitter post, but let's be honest, those never went anywhere. My main focus was TikTok. And with just TikTok alone, I was able to reach a partner in 4 months. Okay? So fast forward to my current channel, and I use a similar strategy, creating videos and then posting those videos to TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. This time, doing that strategy, I was able to hit partner in 2 months. Without those small snippets of who I am being posted on other platforms, there's no way I would have made partner as quickly as I did. In fact, as Clover, I was posting content on social media weeks before I even started my first stream. And because of the growth that I saw on those platforms, my first stream averaged over 30 viewers right out the gate. So how do these platforms actually work? Now, again, I just want to reiterate that everything I say here is based off of my own experiences, so please take it with a grain of salt. I ain't a trained marketing expert, I don't have no insider information on social media algorithms, I'm literally just a guy who loves creating content and has an knack for noticing patterns, okay? So with that being said, there are a few do's and don'ts to keep in mind. Every platform has its own written and unwritten rules. From what I've seen, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube all love when you post daily. When the algorithm sees that you're being consistent, it's more likely to push your content. My guess is that platforms want creators to bring folks back every single day, so regular posting keeps users engaged, which means better traffic for the platforms itself. Hashtags also play a role in teaching the algorithm who would be interested in your content. Some platforms, like Instagram, care a lot about hashtags, while others, like YouTube, seem a bit more indifferent. I use a set list of hashtags tailored to each platform. Feel free to copy my tag list if it will help you. For TikTok, I use around 10 tags or less, depending on what it is that I'm posting. Instagram, I do a full 30 tags, and YouTube Shorts is just about 2 in the title. Any more than that, in my experience, tends to mess with the algorithm and can kind of halt your content a little bit. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, there's also been a lot of talk about certain hashtags getting folks shadow banned, but personally, I have never run into that issue. What does slow reach, though, is certain words and visuals. Profanity on YouTube, for example, can seriously limit how far your content gets pushed. And on TikTok, I've noticed that certain movement styles on VTuber models can trigger the algorithm into thinking that it may be unacceptable content, which that happened to me a lot on my last brand, so I ain't gonna lie. Timing also matters, but not as much as folks seem to make it out to be. TikTok and Instagram tend to be fast acting, meaning that your post gets traction right away. Sometimes content catches a second wind, but you really can't bank on that, so that's why when you post does seem to make a difference on those platforms. In general, you want to post when your main audience is online. Your analytics tab can really help you with that. That being said, I think consistency matters more than perfect timing. Posting around the same time every day keeps your content predictable for viewers without causing too much headache on yourself. Trying to nail down that exact minute based on daily user counts can be exhausting, and honestly, it really ain't worth the trouble. Just pick a time that works for you, stick to it, and you'll be fine. And on the topic of timing, yeah, it matters, but actually remembering to post can get pretty frustrating. TikTok's built-in scheduler doesn't seem to push content into the algorithm like it ought to, and Instagram's scheduling tool, some folks seem to not have access to it for some reason, and I still can't make sense of that. So, setting a reminder like on your phone, like maybe a little alarm or something, can be really helpful. But if you're looking for something more reliable, there are tools like Metricool, which is what I use, that lets you schedule posts across multiple platforms all at once. Metricool is a paid service. I ain't sponsored by them. It's just a tool that I really enjoy using. But I've also been told that there are free options like Buffer if you want to give them a shot as well. Just keep in mind that no scheduler is perfect, and you still need to keep an eye out for errors in case something doesn't publish like it should or whatnot. Well, now that we know how to post, what exactly should we be posting? Following all the steps that we just covered is super awesome, but none of it actually matters if your content don't make a lasting impression or help folks to connect with you. Algorithms can only do so much. At the end of the day, people need a reason to care. So how do we go about doing that? What should we be posting? If you're already streaming, using clips from your streams is a great way to repurpose your content and show new viewers what your streams are all about. This is one of the most common strategies for streamers, especially if your passion lies in live performance content. If this is a route that you want to take, I highly recommend enabling replay buffer in OBS. That way, anytime you have a moment that'll translate well to an offline audience, you can clip it and save it at full quality, ready for editing once you get offline. Personally, I have a button on my stream deck that saves the last minute of my stream anytime I press the button. I also have a mix-it-up command that lets chat create clips on Twitch while also saving a copy to my desktop through replay buffer at the same time. Now, if you ain't already a streamer, or if you want to make different content for short-form platforms, well, that's just as well and good too. When I first started content creation, this is actually the route that I took. I made lip-sync videos, followed trending audios, and made my own twist on popular formats. I also often see folks creating banter clips, skits, tutorials, and all kinds of short-form recordings that highlight their unique skills and personality. No matter which direction you take, it's important to stick back and ask yourself these questions. What am I trying to achieve with this post? Who am I trying to connect with? Why should they care? Here's the trick. Keep your short-form content accessible. Think about it like this. If I showed your video to a little old lady at the grocery store, would she understand what's going on? What would she say about it? As ridiculous as that sounds, it's actually really good, solid framework for knowing if your content will land with a broader audience. Your short-form videos should include enough context that a new viewer can stumble across them and immediately connect with what's happening. So you might think, but I have a niche. Well, that's fine, that's well and good. But short-form content should act as an introduction to your world, not just things like inside jokes that only long-time followers would understand. Think of it as a welcome brochure, something that draws folks in and gets them curious about the deeper content that you will explore on your streams or in longer videos. This in particular is why I avoid things like hyper-niche VTuber topics or game-specific moments that require a lot of prior knowledge to appreciate. Instead, I lean into current trends, relatable moments and broad everyday topics that just about anyone could resonate with. That way, they're more likely to stick around and want to learn more. But before we get any further on,
spooky. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise. My name is Devious. It has been some time. That's hot. That's warm. Alright, let's do a thing. Don't worry, all is well. Bang. I'm looking for things and I am bad at it. Give me one moment.
Da 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 da
We
da.
could probably boogie. Well, it's not open yet. It's just the Endwalker isn't one of them.
We need to talk about Mario Kart World. It starts with. We need to talk about Mario Kart World. It starts with the name. Mario Kart World. But not just any world, an open world. That's right. It's not enough for a Mario Kart game to just be a Mario Kart game anymore. Now, every single game that ever comes out needs to have free roam. But I won't speak too soon. The game isn't even out yet. Maybe open world Mario Kart is actually genius and I just haven't seen the light yet. That's possible. But I'm not here today to discuss the merits of an open world Mario Kart game. I'm here today because I've just now, for the first time, taken a look at this game's map. Look at this. Do you notice anything? Does anything jump out at you? Personally, from the moment I laid eyes on this map, I knew what I was seeing. This is Breath of the Wild's Hyrule. And you may be thinking, Skitty, have you completely lost your mind? And the answer is, of course, yes. But I don't think that's relevant. Because really look at what we're seeing here, especially if I do this. By flipping the top half of the map, the disturbing truth comes further into focus. At the center is, of course, the castle. To the northeast, a volcano. To the northwest, a snowy area. Dead north is the forest, southeast a tropical rainforest, and southwest is a desert. But then, it's not just any desert, it's got both reddish and sandy cliffs, exactly like the Gerudo Highlands. South of the castle is what exactly? That's right, a large body of water with a prominent bridge. And look at this coastline. Look at the shape. It's an exact match. But think of the Akala region. That's unique, right? Northeast of the castle with its perpetual autumn foliage. But oh, they thought of that too. And the wetlands. Oh, the wetlands. They're there. And look at this island in particular. It may be hard to tell at first, as the truth is often distorted. But with the slightest transformation, it's impossible to deny. This is Shrine Island. And I can already tell from a mile away that there is no chance they are putting a shrine on it. They are going to get away with this yet again, and nobody will be able to stop them. You can call me crazy. You can tell me I need to take my meds. And you're right, but the botwification of every single game will march on nonetheless. And by the time you all realize I was right, it will be too late. How can this be happening? This world that once felt so expansive now feels like a prison. This is the real imprisoning war. But this time, the villain they're imprisoning is the one who seeks the truth. And that's why, if you drive your Ford F-150 into the basement of this bastardized Hyrule Castle, you'll find me, held in eternal torment, suffering, and unable to move on.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
yes, I may be dumb, but I still think it's a valid question.
Why does every VTuber sound exactly the same? Like, why does every VTuber sound exactly the same? I don't understand it. They all have the same voice.
Okay, this engine's gonna be a pain in the butt to clean, I can tell.
Why do they all sound the same? It's so weird. They all have the same voice.
As an example, if you don't know what's up with these guys, or this thing, you won't know what's up with the War Within's final patch, or World of Warcraft's next expansion, and you won't enjoy them as much as you should, as you could. You'll miss the detail, you'll miss the depth, and in many ways, it wouldn't be your fault, not really. Lore is stuck in wikis, lore videos, sorry about that, and things outside the game. And when Blizzard does do campaigns, they're often blazingly fast, and they're in a tough spot. They can't rely on the depth of Warcraft's world because they know most people don't really have much of an idea. That then waters down the story, and that signals to you that you shouldn't really bother. But now we've actually got a proper solution. It's real interesting, and they're not doing it in a one-off way, which is why I'm actually excited. It's called lore walking. It's called.
Alright. No, it's not.
magic and machina. She's a witch for a new age, the wondrous Wicked Thunder!
This is nothing personal, but I must have your soul. There is no limit to Electro's potential. Girl looks to the stars and dares to dream of the world she can make her mind see. Stands up in my mirror, staring back. I realize that girl is gone. She's gone. She's gone. I'm gone. Electrope has many uses. Watch and learn!
Make me submit, or die by your excellence! If I must forsake myself to keep my oath, so
impotent mortals! Grant me the strength to smite mine enemies! Stubborn fools! This is far from over!
Ba 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 ba. That was awesome. What a fight. What a fight. You are every bit Tenzin's successor, warrior, for you are but the second child of man to have bested me in battle. Once I would have never thought it possible, when I was no more than a mere serpent blessed with the good fortune to be born on an island where the people held us in the highest. To them I was a kami, and I was foolish enough to enter to share their belief. But when I had lived some few centuries and first began to manifest true powers, my worshippers came to view me in a different light. When they were visited by calamity, they mistook me as the cause, and so, in place of traditional offerings, they brought me the flesh of their flesh. Though I had no hand in it, their fortunes improved. To them the answer was clear. Only greater sacrifice would satisfy the guardian serpent. Little did they know I had spared the maiden and spirited her away to another land in secret. In secret, as I would the others that would follow. Nevertheless, the belief lingered, and soon the guardian serpent came to me regarded as a malevolent demon, and my worshippers became my decriers. They tempted sellswords with Koban to come and slay me. The poor fools. So began my days as a hunted kami. I dispatched them every time, though I took little joy in it. And then one day a man unlike all the others appeared before me, a samurai in the company of beasts. Tenzin and I fought. He won. The fallen kami had at last been bested by a fortune-seeking hunter. I could not help but chuckle as I closed my eyes and awaited the inevitable blow. Join me. Let us begin anew. Saying this, he extended his hand to me. All that I was, all that I had ever been was no more. I had nothing. Yet not only did he see fit to spare me, but offer me a new home. But even a fallen kami has his pride, and I could not readily accept such kindness, even if I yearned for it. Seeing this, Tenzin laughed. Then earn it by growing stronger, and in turn using that strength to help others as you have been helped. Become more than you are, and more than me. Thus did I vow to devote myself to becoming an auspice worthy of man's worship and admiration, to become a magnificent dragon that would safeguard his chosen. My recollection now is not as it was before. Details once indistinct are now vivid and clear. Perhaps the Aramitama clouded my judgment. Thank you, Will. Had you not helped me remember my vow, I might have lost the chance to honor Tenzin's memory forever. Where is Genbu? Where is Genbu? Has he returned to the temple without us? This bodes ill. Ba 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 ba. If Genbu left without us, then it can only mean that Koryu's return is imminent. Come, we must rejoin the others at Raisin Temple. As we all have many times before and doubtless will be again. Nevertheless, forgive me. The wards are at their limit. You've got to come right away. Well, then it is well that Ffxiv has returned to the fold, for now we four lords may bring our united powers to bear against our foe. Your part in this is finished, my friends. Now you must go. Should we fail in this final endeavor, then the temple, nay, the whole of the Ruby Sea, may be consumed by Koryu's wrathful fires. Don't be stupid. We came to see this through to the end, and we'll do just that. That's the Scion way. Right, Will? That's right. Let's get this fight going. Let's get on this fight. Da. Hold nothing in reserve. Summon all your strength. Only then can we hope to triumph over our mad brother. Woo! Holy moly! It worked. I can feel it. The wards are mended, strengthened. Oh my. No, no, no. Even now, after everything we have endured, everything that has made us stronger, how can we fail? I shall burn! Genbu? Genbu! That was the last of his ether. It will be impossible for us three alone to bind him, but we can hold him at bay for a time. Flee this place. Fool! A hero you may be, but Koryu is an opponent none can defeat. You... I killed you once before, samurai. I will kill you again. Tenzin. Brother, sister, now is our chance to restore the wards. How? Even in this weakened state, without Genbu, we do not stand a chance. Soroban? Come away from there before you get hurt. If I do not act, then our lives are forfeit anyway. Ours and everyone else in the Ruby Sea. Let's save the Ruby Sea, everyone! What is he doing? This is the ritual he performed incorrectly before, when he summoned the great tortoise kami into his body. I see it now. He offers himself to Genbu. I can feel his presence returning, but if Soroban does this, then his own soul will be... I would rather you not say it aloud, otherwise I might have second thoughts. Believe me, I know the consequences, and I accept them. Farewell, my friends, and please look after Tamamizu. Soroban! Worry not, Soroban. We will not let it be for nothing. Burn! All shall burn! Perhaps one day many thousands of years from now, but not this day. Begone! Aw, we don't get to fight him? I wanted to fight him. I wanted to fight him. I wanted to fight him. Lazy devs. Lazy devs. I wanted to fight him. They hyped him up for all this time, but they didn't finish making his battle. Koryu shall not threaten us for many millennia yet. Let us rejoice in this hard-won victory, nearly lost were it not for your courage and strength, Will. But Soroban... Tragic though his sacrifice was, it was not in vain. Let us not mourn his death, but honor his memory. Death? Memory? What in the world are you on about? Soroban yet lives. Let me guess. In our hearts or some such? Honestly, if you're going to try and comfort us, you could at least do better than offer trite cliches.
I am simply making a statement of fact, but I see words alone will not serve to communicate my point.
Huh?
Huh? But I should be. Huh?
I do not understand. The ritual the Kojin performed, when one summons the soul of an immensely powerful entity into one's own body, it is understood, nay, expected that the summoner's soul is extinguished in the process.
That is true. When the summoned entity's soul is of surpassing strength relative to one's own. Soroban's, however, has grown remarkably robust, owing to his intense training and his prolonged exposure to the magics of the Tamatebako of geomancy. His soul now eclipses mine in spiritual potency, which is why it holds fast to this vessel, and so, when the enchantment fades ere long, mine will depart and fade as before.
And just when we were getting used to having you around again.
Koryu's aim was true, as you saw, and in my final moments I was filled with regrets, but no longer. With my remaining time I will attend to my affairs, and train dear Soroban to succeed me as the next Genbu.
Wait, me? The next Genbu? The four lords are ever needed. You have both the strength of will and character to succeed our elder brother. Would you not all agree? I think he more than proved himself when he stood his ground against Koryu. Still, it should be a unanimous decision. Byakko?
As you say, he faced certain death without hesitation and embraced sacrifice for the sake of others. I should be glad to welcome him to our fellowship. If that is how you all feel, then I am certainly in no position to refuse. I will do my best to live up to your expectations.
Give an elm and they'll take a mulm, I swear.
Do not think I have forgotten our bargain, little urchin. Great feats demand consummate rewards, and we are auspices of our word.
It's about time. Did you hear that, Will? It's treasure time.
While we see to the preparations, perhaps you could spare a moment for my dearest comrades? With our troubles at an end, we may be parting ways soon, and so this might be the last opportunity you have to speak with them for quite some time.
I understand. Our lives lead us where they may, and yours leads you elsewhere. So it was Tamamo-Gozen. So it was with Tamamo-Gozen. I shall remember you fondly.
Before you came, I bore a man a terrible grudge. Less so now, for I am comforted to know that there are good and honorable ones such as you. Live well, and teach others to do the same, and I might never need resume my hunt.
What the hell was that? What on earth was that noise?
With Koryu imprisoned once more, my comrades and I are free to watch over these lands as before, as is our duty. And when the wards falter once more, we shall again gather our strength and beat back our mad brother's assault. together with noble Soroban, a worthy successor to the fallen Genbu. For now, however, we may enjoy a welcome respite, a peace we owe much to you as anyone else, I should think. I see many battles ahead of you, for like Tenzin, you are not one to rest on your laurels. This much is plain. I wish you good fortune in the wars to come. Ah, but I ramble. Do not deny it. When one has lived as long as I, it is all too easy to lose track of time. Go, go. Should you ever crave the company of we curious beasts, you will find us here.
What the hell was that noise? I still want to know what that noise was. You're all right, friend. I'll be sure to say as much to the next hero what comes knocking a few millennia from now when we need to do this whole song and dance all over again. What the... I'm not reading all that. No way. Worry not for Soroban. We will guide him in his journey and help him to reach his true potential, as Tenzin once guided us. I had long since given up on ever seeing him again, and then he was there, shining paragon of strength and virtue, a memory made manifest. But if he had been more than that, I would have told him, this body I once cursed I have come to cherish. This I owe to him and his love. Think he already knows. Well, that would be wonderful if true. For all his virtues, he could be remarkably oblivious at times. But though he taught me to love and accept myself, it was you who helped me to remember, who helped me to smile again. For that, Will, you will always hold a special place in my heart. Please come and visit us in the future. Thanks for saving the world, or at least our little corner of it. I won't tell you you'll be missed, 'cause you won't. At least that's what I'll say to anyone who asks. Gotta keep up appearances, you understand. Wink wink, nudge nudge, say no more, say no more. At first I thought he was a figment of my imagination, but he was real enough. How or why I know not, but a possibility springs to mind. When Tenzin was mortally wounded by Koryu, he used the last of his strength to seal him within the sacred crystal. The original wards were born of his flesh, his very essence, an act of desperation I once believed. But now I wonder, was it in preparation for this very day? But even if it had been part of an elaborate plan to preserve his soul as a final defense, his strength alone would never have sufficed. Nay, he needed another warrior possessed of tremendous potential, like himself, one blessed with a singular power to whom he could bequeath his own. He knew another would come, you see, another hero the likes of which the world so rarely sees. Thousands and thousands of years ago, he foresaw your coming. Bah, clever bastard, putting me to shame with his strength and wisdom both, and still he denies me my rematch. But at least I still have you, Will. Live long, for I am not finished with you yet. We will fight again, and I will win. Without turning to the Aramitama, you may be assured. Lovely. Wonderful. I might actually go check out this text just in case I'm not able to later. Which sucks, but here it is. Alright, cool. Huh. Great. More than enough to make up for 1,000 of Alphino's reckless purchases. A fitting reward for saviors of the Ruby Sea. To be honest, I was half expecting another terrible joke, but you really followed through. Getting this home is going to be no easy task. If transportation is a concern, we would be happy to deliver it to a destination of your choosing. Really? Just like that? In that case, the Ruby Bazaar in Kugane, if it's no trouble, that is. None whatsoever. Every member of the collective should be glad to lend a hand. And with that, I take my leave. So, Soroban, will you really stay here and not return to Tamamizu? Well, I did agree to become the next Genbu. For the duration of his training, I would have him remain here. It will
will be a long, hard road, believe you me, and I intend to spend my remaining years guiding him, all 500 or so. And there you have it. I hope I can impose upon you to deliver Bernchin the news. Wait, 500 years? As in you will be here for another 5 centuries? I thought you said the enchantment would fade ere long. These things are relative. And what's with that tone of yours, anyway? You should be honored to have the beneficiary of my sage tutelage, foolish turtle. You're a turtle, too. An old, tiny, crabby ghost turtle. Get out of my head! There's something a little frightening about watching them fight with themselves. Maybe we should leave them alone for a while. Thank you for everything, Will, Tataru. Safe travels. Since you have reasons other than the usual for this particular visit, might it have something to do with Soroban? I beg your pardon? Soroban is to become the next Genbu. I will not feign understanding. However, this extraordinary state of affairs came about is utterly beyond my ken. As unbelievable as I yet find it, though, I have no doubt that you speak true. Soroban's had an incredible string of bad luck. Succumbing to the Arithmetama, becoming a giant tortoise, and now this. On the other hand, he could have refused, and instead agreed to take on this responsibility. So, we may as well support him, don't you think? He's not that far away. Indeed. Though it pains me to imagine Tamamizi without our Soroban, it fills me with pride to know that a Kojin of the Blue has been granted this great honor. We shall pray for him that he may rise to the occasion, and serve as a benevolent guardian to all who call the Ruby Sea home. Thank you for helping him to find his true calling, my friends. Oh no, the pleasure was all ours, and the profit. I am not sure I take your meaning, but I appreciate the sentiment. If I might ask a final favor, would you be so kind as to look in on him from time to time, just to see that he is getting on all right? Of course. It's not every day you would make friends with a secret collective of talking animals. After all, even if Soroban hadn't decided to remain at Ryzen Temple, I wouldn't have wanted to stay away. You can be sure I'll head there from time to time. You're welcome to join me when I do, of course. Da da da.
Okay, I am good here. I will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.